All right, it is your Classic Metal Show right here on theclassicmetalshow.com. That was Y&T with a song called She's Gone from the album 10. And before that, we had a little bit of Havoc with Unnatural Selection. Want to thank Pete Weber from Havoc for giving me a little bit of time, and by little, I mean very little. He really was not into it, but that's all right. You know,
sounded like a 12-year-old kid.
He really did, man.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
I like the drum intro.
I like to beat on things. Well, good band nonetheless. I like Havoc, one of my favorite bands out there.
That's
so,
your favorite album of the year, though. There's a
second favorite. Second favorite.
What's first?
Devil Driver Winter Kills.
Dude, there's so much more better stuff out there.
Oh, there's not.
Yes, there is.
Like what?
Definitely way better than Devil Driver. And Sound Garbage? Oh, don't get me started.
Come on, that album is amazing.
Oh, Sound Garbage is fucking
really
horrible.
good.
That band sucks.
Not at all. Listen to
that band fucking is so goddamn horrible.
Listen to the album.
All right, we're not gonna. We can have this debate later, because right now we've got Jimmy Degrasso waiting in the wings. So let me push this button here, and I am, of course, as prepared as always. I had fucking 25 minutes to get prepared and have the phone number pulled up, and I don't have it.
How important is this interview?
It's important.
Is it? Okay.
Dude, they were on a plane that almost crashed.
Oh.
I'd say it's important.
I just wondered.
Let's see. Here's Neely. What's his phone number?
This is riveting radio as you go through your contact list.
310.
Yeah, just
746.
maybe not. Yeah, don't do that.
9807. All right. So I don't know who people are calling thinking that that's really the right number.
Nice.
See what we get here.
Rock and Roll Haven.
Yes, I'm looking for a celebrity. Please pass the phone.
You're speaking to one. I'm a big celebrity out here.
What's up, man? Of course, we've got Neely on the phone. What is up, brother?
Hey, dude. I'm out here at this Rockin' the Farm, and I'm hanging out here with Dokken, Sebastian Bach, Lita Ford, Rat, Warren, and Kip Winger solo. And Sebastian's on the stage right now throwing down Monkey Business.
So if you're rocking the farm, does that mean that somebody is fucking a farm animal or what?
I think so, because we're like out in the middle of a field somewhere. And Eddie Trunk is hanging out here. I've spoken with him a couple of times. He seems very disinterested in the classic metal show. I'm just kidding about that. But no, I've been hanging out here. I was running interference for Don. He had a CD signing or an autograph signing out here. And now my nephew is guarding him away from the savages while I'm doing this. So it's a cool atmosphere. It's an outdoor venue. It's kind of like what we did in Oshkosh a few weeks ago.
Neely, it's John, man. What's going on, dude?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Not too bad. Since you have so many rock star sightings there, I was wondering if you have caught up with Phil Asamo there or not.
No, I have not. Phil Anselmo is not here tonight, but I do have the one Jimmy Degrasso here who wants to speak to you guys.
Nice.
Well, bring his ass on.
All right, well, the Classic Metal Show, welcome Jimmy Degrasso, drummer extraordinaire.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Degrasso. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. So have you guys already played, or are you getting ready to play?
No, we played. We've had a really eventful day.
So I hear, man. So dude, let's get right into that, man. You're on a plane, and it fucking gets brought back down to earth, man. Talk about how scary that is for you, and you know what was going on the plane.
Well, I was having a coffee, and all of a sudden, you know, I was flying backwards. I was in a couple of seats that actually go backwards, and I saw this look of horror on everybody's face that were next to me looking forward. And I guess what happened, the door on the cockpit flew open, and there was smoke coming out of the cockpit, and the pilot looked extremely distressed. And he's like, we're landing right now. and I thought they were kidding. I thought it was a joke, and I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. Well, can I get another coffee? Like, no, maybe after we land.
Jesus God.
Whose job is it to get the coffee? Lock the
For
doors.
a couple of minutes, I thought it was kind of a joke, and I was kind of like, okay, well, let's see what happens here. So basically, what happened? We had a fire in the cockpit, and we had to turn the plane around, and we had to land, and it was not the way I wanted to start my day today.
Yeah, no kidding, man. So what was the fire? Was it some equipment that, like shorted out, or was it, I don't know, a pilot smoking, or what?
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing at this point. I don't know. I just don't know. And I was just happy when the tires hit the ground.
Right. I hear you,
Because
man.
I figured, because he said we were landing now. I didn't even know if we were going for an airstrip. I thought we were going for a cornfield.
Okay, so where did you end up landing? Did you end up landing back where you started, or what?
Yeah, we had to turn around. I think that's FAA rules. When you have a aircraft in distress, you have to turn around and, if possible, get to the original field. I'm not sure. So we turned around and went back to Moline, and, it worked out and everything was fine. And the crew was great. I can't give them enough credit, but like I said, not the way I expected to start my day.
Well, yeah, I hear you, man. And for a guy like you, I mean, you've been in major bands, since the mid-'80s. What was this the first time that you've had something like this happen?
No, I had an incident back in Russia a couple of years ago with Alice Cooper, where we were taking off and flying, and we were in the air 10 minutes, and the aircraft dropped about 1,000 feet.
Oof.
And because it was a charter aircraft, nobody had their seatbelts on, and I always wear my seatbelt. And
right.
I remember our security was sitting next to me, and I had to pull him off the ceiling.
Oh my God! Wow.
Because I remember him looking down at me. He's a really big guy. He was like, maybe 250, 260, and all of a sudden, he was up on the ceiling looking back at me. I'm like, well, that's probably not the best place for you to be right now. So I grabbed him by the belt buckle and pulled him back into the seat. And he said, "Thank you very much." And I said, "No problem."
Nice. Well,
so it's not the first time, but certainly you don't want to keep reliving these things either.
Right? Of course not, man. Well, dude, something you probably do want to keep reliving is the fact that you are on one of the most hyped, hard rock albums of the year. That being the Black Star Riders' "All Hell Breaks Loose" record. How has that been received, and what's going on with that project? Because it seems like it was really hot for a minute, and I haven't heard a lot of touring plans or anything since.
Well, right now it's we did about a month in Europe. We did a bunch of the big festivals, and we sort of got our backs against the wall because we couldn't get the record out till May. So we went over to Europe. We did all the big mega festivals there, with Iron Maiden and all this stuff, and the response was great, and the response has been really great overseas. It's a little bit slower here in the States, which is understandable,
sure,
because it's sort of a different climate here, and it's going really well. We start our headlining tour in Europe, I think the first week in October, and we're going till the end of December. And the American tour starts the middle of January and goes to I think late February, March, and we head over. I think we're going to Australia and Japan, and we're coming home for a month, and we're going back over to Europe. So the response has been really positive, and everyone really that I've spoken to really likes the record. So we'll see what happens with it.
Now, how does that work? And I'm assuming that you're in the mix to know. I mean, how much Thin Lizzy stuff do you play versus Black Star Riders play versus playing the whole album, more or less?
Well, the thing with Thin Lizzy is it was a weird thing with the name. We could have kept the name, but at the end of the day, we chose to change the name of the band because, out of respect to Phil Lynott, and since it'd be the first record to be released without Phil as the lead singer, and it was just a really unique set of circumstances. So we decided just to change the name. We didn't want to put anybody off or offend anybody, or offend the legacy, and we just thought it was the right thing to do. So we're doing, quite a lot of Lizzie material, to be quite honest. It's pretty much half and half right now. When we went over to Europe, we're basically playing like a Lizzie song, a BSR song. We just go back and forth, and that's pretty much the set list for the most part.
Sure, definitely. Now, let me ask you this, Jimmy, and I'm always, I guess I don't understand it because I'm a possessive fuck, and I'm the first one to admit it. You're obviously out there, and you're playing quite a lot of shows with Dokken. And,
right.
I mean, officially, as far as I know, Mick Brown is still the drummer of Dokken, but it seems like you're in the band more than him. I mean, is that comfortable, or does it just become a gig, or what exactly is that?
Well, it's a unique situation. What happened is, I believe about a year and a half ago, Don called me out of the blue on like a Wednesday night, like 10:30 at night or something like that. And I hadn't spoken to him in quite some time. He's like, "Hey man, do you want to come play with Dokken?" I said, "Sure." And I've been playing with Dokken pretty much ever since. And we had some time off because we had some health issues in the band.
Mm-hmm, sure.
And Mick and Don are still on good terms. So if I can't make it, Mick fills in.
Okay.
And that's pretty much the state of it right now. I mean, when I was over in Europe in June with Black Star Riders, Mick did a couple gigs with the band.
Okay. Is that comfortable for you? Because I mean, let's face it, you've been the drummer of whichever band you've been in for pretty much most of your career.
Well, no, I'm pretty comfortable with it because I like Mick and I think he's a nice guy and I don't have any issues with it. And I understand that, and I think Don understands as well. It's like when he took all this time off and then Lizzie called, I had to go do something.
Sure. And
because I do like work, being creative, so I had to do what I had to do, and I think Don has respect for that. So if I can play, I'll play, and if I can't play, then Mick will play, and I think Mick's fine with it too. I haven't spoken to him about it, but I mean, we're all adults,
right?
You know what I mean? And we're all friends, and there's not like a lot of ego nonsense involved. We're just, like it's all about. We come out here and we play and, we get to hang with our friends, like we're out here with Rat right now and they're the nicest guys in the world. And we're all, it's just a really great vibe where everyone just wants to help everybody and it's just real positive and it's really nice.
Do you ever watch Rat and just want to give Bobby lessons?
Oh, come on.
That's a brutal question, Chris.
I'm just asking.
I watched their whole set last night. They were really good. They were great. I mean, it's a great package. Between us and Rat and Sebastian, Lita Ford, it's really a good package, and the vibe is really, really good, and everyone's having a good time, and that's what we come out here for.
Sure. Well, Jimmy, how many more gigs are there on this little run?
We've got tomorrow night that we're home for a few days. I think we're out. Listen, I can't even tell you. I mean, right. I'm getting so many flight reservations.
Right.
He said to me at this point, I don't know where I'm flying anymore.
Right.
But I can tell you this: I have 947,000 frequent flyer miles, and I don't want to go anywhere.
Jeez, oh man, dude.
But I think that's good for something like 7 big screen plasmas.
Wow. Are you going to cash them in for TVs, or are you going to try and cash them in for more tickets?
I don't know. I think I'm going to try for plasmas. I don't know.
Dude, you can eBay them.
Yeah, there you go. You can eBay them.
I mean, where it's
money.
like, when I get these statements, I'm like, yeah, that's great. I just really don't want to go anywhere.
Right. Well, I got to imagine at this point, when you're home, the last thing you want to do is think about a traveling adventure somewhere else.
Yeah, that's exactly the case. You know what I mean? But it's funny because you rack up all these miles because you're flying like, I'm in an airport like 3-4 days a week right now. And, years ago, you're like, oh, boy, I can get a ticket to go, wherever. And now it's sort of like a little bit different. You're like, I really don't want to go anywhere. I just like to sit home for a few days.
Right.
But it's all good.
I hear you, man. Well, dude, before I let you go, man, I got to ask you what is known as the traditional classic metal show question. And since I don't think that we've ever interviewed you on air, I don't think we've hit you with this one. But How has Lemmy from Motorhead influenced your career?
Longevity.
Okay. And that's
like,
it?
in the sense where, I admire him because I admire his work ethic.
Sure.
And it's funny because, I thought a lot of us would have been out of this a long time ago. And I think as the years have passed, we've all learned to really appreciate what we do.
Right.
And I think Lemmy does that, and he's still got a great passion for what he does. He enjoys making music, and he's very creative. And I think that's great. And I think that's, it's like a lot of the guys, in this business, we just like to do what we do. At some point, we could probably do other things, but we really just enjoy music, and that's why I appreciate a guy like Lemmy, because he just really likes music and likes making music, and I think, and I admire that because it's someone who's,
right,
passionate about what they do, and I dig that. I wish him all the best.
Definitely.
And he's come to a few of our gigs. He's a really nice guy.
Sure, he definitely is, man. Well, dude, I guess I'll say I'm glad you're alive.
Well, that's the nicest thing anyone said to me today so far.
Well, it could have been a whole lot worse, man. Dude, it was so bizarre looking on, I get the little news bulletins from Dokken, and, the news stuff came across like CBS.com and Fox News and whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, look at these guys.
Yeah. I haven't even talked to my mom yet. I'm going to have to talk to her the next day.
Well, when you talk to Real Press, make sure that you plug, that you just got lucky a few times, Get that shameless Dokken plug in.
Put that in the set tonight. It was very apropos. It's like, I think we'll drop a new song on the set, Son said.
Very nice. Well, I'll tell you what, Jimmy, we're going
and it was followed up by Into the Fire.
Very nice. Perfect.
Like, probably not appropriate. Anyway, but go on.
All right, man. Well, dude, good talking to you once again, man. It was fun hanging with you out in Wisconsin. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to end this with...
Wait 1 second, Chris.
Oh,
hey, Jimmy. This is... Sorry to interrupt real quick before the end here. Since we do have a chat room going. We met you in Wisconsin a few weeks ago, and my girlfriend Steph spent some time with you, and she wanted us to tell you that she loves you and misses you.
Ugh. Go ahead and vomit,
Personal
Jimmy.
message?
That's horrendous.
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't have any response to that. I'm like, oh, okay.
Just passing it along, man.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jimmy, why don't we end with something that you played on? Why don't we play a song called Voices from Y&T from Endangered Species? You remember that?
Wow. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, that's rad. Are you seriously going to play that?
Yeah, it's a good song.
Oh, that's very cool, man. Cool. That's wow. I haven't even heard that in 15 years, man. Have at it.
Well, you'll have to listen back to the interview. So I'll tell you what, man, why don't we play it now? This is Y&T. The song is called Voices, and this is your Classic Metal Show.